2 a.m. at the moment, and it's been a long day. I mean, it'll be a day to remember, no doubt. Um, but January 29th was okay. Probably a 5 out of 10 day. I woke up, I didn't have a dream, and if I did, I didn't remember it, which is probably good, you know. And I had work from 10 to 4. Not bad. It got slow around like 2:30. So around 3, they were like, "Do you want to go home?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to go home. I need money. Just let me clean something or something." And so they had me like blow all the salt off the sidewalk with a leaf blower, and it felt like 20 degrees, and I was in a short sleeve shirt. So I was just blasting Kanye West, trying to get me in a right mood and not to be cold or anything. And then when I was done, it was like 3:30, and then I had to run trash, and by that time I was done with that. It was 4. Then I went upstairs, went to go check out with my managers, check out with the night busser, and then I was ready to clock out. And then my ex girlfriend was right there, and she was like, "Hey, can I ask you something?" I was like, "Yep, what's up?" And this is probably the first sentence she has said to me since I broke up with her in August. And she's like, "Do you still have those chairs that I got?" And I was like, which chairs?" She was like, "The one with the armrest." And I'm like, and she was like, "Did you throw them away?" And I was like, "No, I got them." She's like, "Can I have them back? I did pay for them." And I was like, "I mean, yeah, they're $5, but yeah, I guess you can have them back." But that's Landry and I's favorite chairs, so that is it's a big bummer. So that sucked. Came home. I was super hungry, so I made some chicken and I made a to sandwich with some pita chips and hummus, and it was pretty good. I did pretty good on it. It was nice. It filled me up till now. I haven't been hungry. What was funny while I was cooking is I forgot I turned the stove on, and when I was like looking at the pan, it was kind of tilted, and so I didn't want my olive oil to just go on one side. So I was like, what if I just press down on the stove? So I went to go press down on the stove, and I burnt my finger very bad, and my fingerprint is currently burnt off. I yelled the F word very loudly, and I'm sure I scared my roommate, but it is what it is. Um, and then after that, I was just doing some math homework. I had a lot of math due tonight, just trying to figure everything out. And my girlfriend texted me around 6, whatever, and she was like, "Can I come over?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I can do my homework later." She comes over, and I've had this question that I wanted to ask her for about a week. I you know kind of been struggling with money recently, trying to save as much, and so I just kind of wanted to know, why she's with me, before I spend a lot of money on Valentine's Day, which is in 2 weeks. And so I asked her, "Why are you with me?" And she couldn't really answer, and that was a little tough, you know, because I explained why I was with her. Um, but it kind of escalated into, she said, "I just have no passion, or I don't have enough passion for you." And that was a tough pill to swallow because she said, it's not that you've done anything wrong. It's just I just don't have no passion for you, which is okay at the end of the day because she explained to me how great I've been, how comforting I am, how I've done nothing wrong, and I think that's what she was most upset about. So. That kind of made me feel better, you know. But she was over from about 6:30 p.m. till almost midnight plus some. So I had a good 6 hours with her left, you know. It was a really good 6 hours, you know. We cried, we talked about all the fun we've had. And I hope I stay friends with her. I mean, I probably will. I don't see why I wouldn't, you know. But it does kind of make me wonder, you know. I feel like I knew. I mean, last video I talked about in the back of my mind, I feel like I should be single so I can be better about what hobbies I want and should be focusing on myself more than another person at the moment. You know, at age 20, I really need to figure out what I want to do for the rest of 40 years of my life of working. Um, it was just hard because I didn't cry a lot. It was hard for my emotions to understand what was kind of happening because, you know, no offense to her, but it was kind of out of the random. Like, I kind of knew she had been a little bit dull recently and, you know, all this, but I was just like, you know, she's just not very good at texting and she's much better when she's in person. So I didn't really think much of it. But yeah, it was kind of out of the blue today. I didn't expect to break up with my girlfriend. Um, Mainly because we had nothing wrong. You know, we never argued, and she was perfect almost. No one's perfect, but I felt like we were really good for each other. But maybe we were too perfect, you know? Maybe stability isn't the best for a relationship this young. And maybe that's part of my fault for not telling my emotions out and how I really felt about some things that she did. Maybe if I were to start an argument, she would make me maybe more passionate about who I am and how much I care for her. Another thing she said was, you know, there wasn't much romance, which is fine, you know. Maybe I need to learn what really romance is, but sometimes I'd just do anything for her, you know. But I feel like I'd also do a lot of things for other people as well. I mean, I drove through a snowstorm for her, so it's a really tough pill to swallow when it just ends like this after 4 months of perfectness. But maybe this is the next step of who I really am and what I could become. If I focus on myself, I could really reach my full potential. Maybe I'll make that next step towards geology. But I also think I'm meant for more. I feel like I'm meant to be an entertainer and not some smart scientist. I think I can make a lot of people happy, but I just don't know where to start. I've only listened to Kanye West the past 2 days, which I haven't done since probably 2023. Um, so maybe I need to get back on my Kanye West grind. Because besides God, at the end of the day, if no one got me, Kanye West got me. Today was rough, but at least the Wolves beat the Thunder. I don't know what's next for me. Maybe I'm a little scared of being single. Um, like I said yesterday, I've been single for maybe 6 or 7 months since 2019. So I just don't know what it's like to be alone. I am scared to be alone because I feel like I don't trust myself. I feel like I'd get addicted to weed again just because it'll fill that time of loneliness and having nothing to do. But instead of that, I should be picking up the violin or picking up more hobbies. I think that's what I'm most scared about. How will I make my life better? And if I do, you know, what will I do? You know, at the end of the day, I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And everything's just a question mark at the end of the day. I feel like I've been living day to day for about 3 years now. But really, I should be living year to year. I think I need to start focusing on my future more and what I really want in life. Do I really want a family?